In this video, we're going to be looking at inverse proportion. So first of all, what is it? Well, amounts are said to be inversely proportional if one amount increases at the same rate that another one decreases. We say that if y is inversely proportional to x, then y is proportional to 1 over x. And mathematically, we can say that y is inversely proportional to x implies y is proportional to 1 over x. So an example, first of all, we're going to find the constant k. So you're given a is inversely proportional to w, and a is 5 and w equals 4. Find the equation that links them. So we start off as before by writing our initial statement, but notice it's 1 over w this time. And we write a equals k over w, and we do our substitution, just like before. Multiplying both sides by 4 here will leave us with k on the right hand side, and we find that k equals 20. And now we rewrite our equation saying a is equal to 20 over w, our linking equation. Next one. Y is now inversely proportional to x squared, and y is 2 and x is 5. So the key part is this first bit here. It tells us inversely proportional. We write our statement, y is proportional to 1 over x squared. And we replace the proportional symbol with equals k. So y equals k over x squared. Now we do our usual substitution for y and x in this case. Notice it's 5 squared at the bottom, so 5 squared is 25. Multiplying both sides by 25 gives us the value of k. So k is going to equal 50. And now we rewrite our linking equation. So y equals 50 over x squared. And in our final example, this time we're told that p is inversely proportional to the square root of q. And p is 10 when q is 36. So, first thing we do is we use that statement, we write our first statement out, p is proportional to 1 over the square root of q. P equals k over the square root of q. Now we do our substitution. So 10 is equal to k over the square root of 36. Now the square root of 36 is 6, so 10 equals k over 6. Multiplying both sides by 6 tells us that k is going to equal 60. And now we substitute it into our second equation to get our linking equation. So p equals 60 over the square root of q. Having calculated the linking equation, I'm now going to show how to use it. So here we've got the calculated equation for proportion is a equals 20 over w. So we write it down and we're told that when we want to find a when w equals 0.5. So we simply substitute in 0.5 for w. 20 divided by 0.5 is 40. Similarly, we start off with our equation. We do our substitution. This time we're told a is 10. So we replace the a with 10, and with 10 equals 20 over w. Now there's a little trick we can do here, because we can swap the w and the 10 over. So we end up with w equals 20 over 10. So w equals 2. Now that's a neat little trick to use. Now we've got a new equation. So the equation of proportion this time is y equals 50 over x squared. So we write it down. And this time we're told we've got to find y when x equals 4. So we substitute the 4 in, we get 50 over x squared, over 4 squared. So it's 50 over 16, and we can simplify that to 25 over 8, and a fraction is fine. Again, y equals 50 over x squared. This time we're told what y is, so we substitute in for y, so 2 equals 50 over x squared. Now if we use that little trick again about swapping them, we get x squared is going to be equal to 50 over 2. 50 divided by 2 is 25, so x squared is 25. To find what x is going to be, we square root it, and the square root of 25 is 5. And then the last example, we're told the equation of proportion this time is p equals 60 over the square root of q. So we write that out, and we're told that q is 16 and we want to find p. So we substitute in for q, so p is 60 over the square root of 16. The square root of 16 is 4, and 60 divided by 4 is 15. Again, the second example, write out the equation. Now we're told what p is. So we substitute in for p. So 12 equals 60 over the square root of q. swap the two terms again, just as we have done before. So the square root of q is equal to 60 divided by 12. That tells me the square root of q is equal to 5. Now by squaring both sides, we can find what q is going to be. So q is equal to 25.